All right. Cool. We are live. Let me make sure that I got my stuff set up to monitor this. I want to press record. I like to save my own copy. Um, all right. YouTube's a little weird about that. Okay. That looks decent. I just want to monitor my stream real quick. Make sure it's working. Okay. Cool. Usually I use OBS to monitor my stream, but it almost would just make more sense just to watch the YouTube stream. Yeah, I might do that in a minute. Let's get a link to this. One minute, 1 minute. Okay. I have to make a thumbnail for these live streams. I keep like going live and then it asks me for a thumbnail on the spot and I'm like, damn it, I didn't make one again. So that's something I really need to do. But let's bring up our to-do list where we were at yesterday. Was it yesterday? Must have been. Let me make sure you guys could hear the desktop audio. Should be able to. There's nothing playing yet. I want to... I just put on the lo-fi usually. You guys could hear that, right? And not just... That seems a little quiet compared to me, but I think it's alright. Maybe that's a little better. Just bring it up a little bit. Hello, Maggie. How's the music sound? Is it quiet? I want it to be like... all rightly loud. Not too loud, though. I just raised it a little bit. Is it too loud now? Is it like, too loud for my voice, or is it alright? Like, is this too loud for the entire stream, or just, like, the intro of the stream? Sounds good? Cool. Does adjusting this change it for the stream too? Oh, it does. Oh, if I want it lower, I could lower my computer volume. It's alright? Alright. Thanks, Game Slug, for the honest opinion. Maggie, what are you doing? I accidentally changed the volume again. I made it too quiet, but the song changed volume anyways, but alright. So where were we at yesterday? Let's just watch what we made. It's not much yet. I mean, it's a decent amount. We got these cars spawning in. LMAO. Oh, yeah. I should just turn off their audio. I don't know how to do that. Actually, I do, because I'm using the prefab, so I could shut it off on the prefab. Okay, so we have these cars driving, and they're driving through the checkpoints and getting deleted, which is why I'm getting these errors. But when they go through the checkpoint, their scores are getting saved, and if I pause it right here, I'm printing out the score object, or the score list, and we were trying, and the thing that I was trying to do was figure out how to sort these scores. I was doing it manually, and as you can see, like, there's 1, 1, 1, 3, so all of the highest scores are going at the end of the list. This list goes up to 99 right here, and it started all the way at 0. Makes sense. But for some reason the IDs are supposed to go with it. I was trying to figure that out, but the ID like switched. Like only ID number 98 right here went to the beginning, and it's still there, so it didn't even swap. I am confusion. Yeah. So right now, what could we do? We should open up our script first. Which script is this? This would be the scorekeeper script, I believe. Okay. All right, so right here is where I was sorting things. Oh no, this is where I checked to see if it was sorted. So I just changed, so off stream last night, I wanted to try one more way to sort it, and now I know why the IDs aren't sorting too. I was able to sort the scores using this order by function instead of this thing that I made last night, the custom sorting thing. And the new way is just built into Unity, so it works. It's not some custom made for loop that I made that makes things take longer. But as of right now, I'm only able to sort the scores without bringing the IDs with it. That's why I'd make this custom loop, was to get the scores, but also bring the index with it, so the ID of the car that the score belonged to. Because right now, without that, it's just getting the scores alone, but we don't know which car the scores belong to, so it doesn't help. I'm really confused since we're not touching the IDs at all. Why is that first ID 98? I didn't even touch the IDs. Yeah, that makes no sense. I'm trying to figure out where I made that ID list, and I didn't. I'm printing out this index. Where did I create it? Okay, in this loop, starting with I equals 0 to total cars, which is 100, I'm just making the index of I equal I. So I should totally not have 98 in the beginning. But now let's figure out how to quickly... If this isn't quick, I'm going to move on to something else, because I don't want to figure out the sorting thing today. So yeah, right here where we have this little sorting thing. Instead of sorting scores, we need to make our own class that has the score and the ID in it. That could work. Or, I know an even better way. This objects, we have access to this objects thing. I like that idea. I think I have to do that again, which I don't love doing more than once because it's going to be bad for the runtime. But we could get this list of objects, which is a list of cars. I had an idea, but now it's struggling, because in order to get the value of the ID of the car, I need to get this like car component. I can make an array of that, but maybe I don't know the best way to do this. Let's look this up. Okay, so I think what it was called was link. Unity. Yeah, I looked it up. Order by classes, yeah. Yeah, so we have to do this order by thing. Game objects that get components in children. Okay, so that's kind of what we need to do. We need to make a list of game objects, which holds an array, which is a list of things. And we need to give it the game object. I don't know where they got this game object from. Get components in children. I'm okay, so it's the current game object, I guess. That makes some sense. Let's think about this for a minute. Oh, this is the wrong answer. This is the question. I'm dumb. Okay. Okay, so you could actually do things like that. I wonder... Yeah, okay, so apparently you could use this on a list, and then you could actually do some sort of function inside of it. So maybe I could get the component inside of this sorting thing. Let's look at one more answer real quick. What's the filter? They made these filters, but it's just an int. Then by. Interesting. So you could do a lot of things with this link. Oh, so you could go do X, Y, and then Z. Wait a minute, what? I don't get the way this guy's sorting these. Right, A takes the highest, lowest, but then that's confusing. So the then by might be interesting. I'm not sure how that works, but order by and then by. Let's just see what this is. Okay, so that's regular order by. Okay, can't get rid of this add. Great, love when that happens. Need to get an ad blocker on this instance of Chrome. I really can't get rid of that. All right, we'll just make it wide enough so, and I'll hide it from you guys so you don't have to see the ads. Okay, so order by descending, then by. Okay, so what does then by do? Can I? So if I create an object like this with the car ID and the score, that solves our problems. Because then we could just use order by. Yeah, that seems like the easiest way to do it. Let me just try something quick. So we just got this cars objects. Well, it's like cars. I don't know why it's called objects. So these are all the cars. And if we want to sort the cars, we could say, let's make a new one. Let's just say cars sorted. car sorted. Oh, that's not how, what am I doing? Car sorted equals, and let's just make it equal to that first cars thing, because that's going to be the same length that we need. And this is just a temporary placeholder anyways. Or we could say, yeah, no, that's fine. That will work because we just need it as a placeholder. And in fact, we could use this now to sort it. But we could say sorted, cars sorted, car sorted. I'm confusing myself with my naming scheme. I should probably fix that. Okay. Equals cars dot order by. And now I'm wondering if I could do this. So if we say ID, ID, and then, oh wait, no, car. So car dot, then we're gonna get the component in it. The car component, I think that's where our ID lies. So if we do this in here, and we say dot ID, does that give us errors? Because I believe that the car itself is where the score is held. Let me just verify that. So if I click on this car right here and we look at its properties, there's an ID and a score. Okay, perfect. So it has both of those. Let's restart this. Okay, errors have to be fixed. So it doesn't like what I did. I could have possibly done it wrong. Let's see what it doesn't like. Link cannot implicitly convert type. Link, I ordered enumerable to okay. Oh, it's because I'm doing to array? Is that why? Oh, I'm not doing to array. That's why. I did it down below, but not right there. Okay, so let's see if that fixes this. And I want to print out this car sorted thing. So let's take this and add it. Let's just add a little space here. And then add the new ID. So car sorted dot get compose. Okay. This is a little bad the way I'm doing it, but I just want to see if this works. Oops. So if this prints out the IDs in a weird order, that means it actually probably worked. Oh wait, I'm sorting a list of things that are in order. So let's sort the scores instead. I'm dumb. Oh, let's print out the IDs, but sort the scores. Okay. Because the IDs start off going from 0 to 100, so there's no point in sorting a list that's already sorted. That's basically what I mean. So, scores. There's score. I think it's probably just score because it's only one car. Okay. Yeah, it should be dot score. Okay, I was making sure. Now let's see if this yells at us still. Get component parent. No X. Okay. 132. Is that what I just changed? 132. Get component and parent. Why did I say get component? Why did I say get component and parent? Oh, I see. Wait a minute, where does the... Oh, it's not actually print... What is this? Oh, that's the high score. I'm printing this out in the wrong spot. Let's yoink all of this. Yoink. And put it in the right spot. That's where it's actually supposed to be, and this is supposed to have I, which is why it was yelling at me. For reasons. Okay. It doesn't hate me. So let's see if we console log anything interesting. Oh, I'm not printing out the console log. Okay. Why'd that start at 2? Yet again, I am confused. There's missing a 4. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. It only goes up to 90. Okay, let's just let this keep running a little bit. Okay, this one went to 99. Oh no, it's still wrong. Okay, so now a few of them got scores. The next time we see that printout of... It didn't print out. Which means it broke. Okay. I know it's happening. It's what I didn't want to happen, so... Let's scrap... Let's scrap this car idea. Let's just delete it. And the sorted cars. And instead... I just have to figure out how to make a class in Unity. How to make a list of classes in Unity. Just took the Milo butt out. Awesome. Welcome back. So I have to create a list of classes. And what is a class? A new class. Okay, this whole thing is a class. This song hurts my head. It's going bouncing between my headphones. Let's skip this one. Filling a list with custom class objects. That sounds exactly like what I need. Is it not? Okay, so we made this class called Game Event. I don't know what this mono behavior means. I think I just need to say public class game event and then do the bracket right after it, because we're not doing anything. Oh, this is a setter. Is class not the word I'm looking for? How to make a group of variables in Unity. Because I'm not sure if class... I'm trying to describe a class without saying class. Not in the inspector. I want to group them in the editor. You use headers, but that's for the struct. Struct is the word I was looking for, not a class. List of structs in Unity. This is exactly what I want. I need an int. Actually, they're both ints. One's the score. Well, the score might not be an int yet. We'll see. But well, this is the question. And you just need to make your struct use the serializable. There we go. Attribute. Serializable. That's a tongue twister. I don't know why. Okay, so we have to do this, but not with the word effect. We'll make it whatever we want to call it. And where am I going to fill this up with values? We could do it right. Where do we get the score of the cars? Scores right here. Okay, so when we get the score, car.id, where do we get the ID? Okay, on update this is happening. So down here, how do we get the cars information? We don't get the best scores. So where do we get the score? So right here is where we get the scores. So instead of setting the scores with the car ID, we can change how we do this entirely. Oh yeah, that's funny. I was talking about the serializable. Okay. So I need to make a class. I don't know where you put a class. I'm just going to put it up here. So I'm going to say that, I'm going to paste that struct. I'm going to say, what do I want to call this? I would love to call it car, but that's not what it is. Well, let's just say car scores. That works. That makes sense to me. Do we declare it here? I gotta look up how to use structs a little bit more. So this is a question again. This question has no answer. So I just write a question for no reason. Declaring a list of structs in C. Let's scroll down to the answers first this time. So this one might be useful because he only has a typo. Everything else should be right. So this means this is actually the right answer, even though it's the question. So he has this struct here. Alright, I'm a little stuck. But I'm not. I'm just not focusing. Yeah. Okay. What was I trying to figure out? Just how to make a struct and then use it. So I was just... So people are saying that classes might be better. That's what I was saying there. Should say structs in Unity. I just need to know how to make a struct. I wanted to... Where's like the... Unity documentation here. So if we want to make the struct, okay. I think I could just say right here, like, ID. Can I do this? What am I supposed to do? Private string, yeah. Okay. So we have to treat this like a thing. So we could say int ID, then int, or is it double? Did I make the score a double? Yeah, it's a double. Okay. So we're gonna say double score. Okay. Does he yell at me? Oh, yeah, so I have to fix some of the things that I deleted because I deleted car sorted. It's right here. Still there? 104 it says. Yes. Okay. Let's hear everything. I just want to clear this console. Start it. Okay. I was just seeing if it yelled at me. It didn't yell at me. So now what I think I could do is create a list of these car scores. Maybe this should be called car score. And then so then in here, instead of saying scores, we're going to say car score array. No. Okay, back to Google. This one's very back and forth with Google. Back to the other search. Best way of list of structs. I think the first one was the best. So you just say this, public list. Let's do this. So instead of effect, we're going to replace whatever it says with our own thing. So I think in here, car score, car score, car scores. The S means it's more than one. I'm going to confuse myself so bad later. Let's call this car score list, just so I don't confuse myself. Okay, does it hate this? Expected, okay. 37, identifier expected. Yes, you would be right. Oh, I just made the list. I didn't fill it with anything. Da, da, da. Oh, I lost it. Cool. How to add an element to a list in Unity. Add. I don't care about adding to them at a specific point. Lists are cool. I guess it's a linked list. I wonder if we could still sort this list. I don't think it's going to work the same way as a array would, but let's figure this out real quick. Need to slouch in order to think better. Okay, so we're gonna say car score list dot add temp car score. So we're gonna need a temporary car score that we make. So car score temp car score equals, or how did they do it? Let's pull these up side by side. Whoops. Yoink. Okay. It wasn't this one. I think it was the first one I saw. Nope, this is the link thing. Okay, so I have to say new. New car score. Okay, and we could actually initialize some values here. ID equals... I don't know if you could do this, but I'm gonna try. Maybe if I just say like 5, 10. Does it hate that idea? Does it hate that idea? That's not what I wanted. I wanted unity. Expected a semicolon. I swear I gave you one. Wait, where? Where? 37. Oh, expected a bracket. Why? Let's put these next to each other so I don't have to keep looking for them. Okay. Why do you want a bracket? Line 37? Oh, maybe here. How's it going? All right, I guess. I'm still stuck on this thing. I don't know why it wants a bracket, it just said. It just doesn't... Let's see if it changes the line that it wants it on. If I add that. Wait, is it line 77? Line 77 or line 37? Make up your mind. Okay, something doesn't line up. That lines up. That lines up. That works. That works too. I think everything lines up. Okay, let's read some more of these errors. Let's clear this console. So clear. Okay. Something really got messed up. Boo. Don't boo me. Wait a minute. Okay, so car score. This new car score. Let me get rid of this line. Is this the line that's causing issues? No, that's not even where the problem is. Okay, so let's try to find where the problem is. I think it's this right here. So whatever I did there is making the Unity gods angry. Okay, so it's less angry now, still angry. What does it say? The car score list temp score does not exist. They'd probably be right. So I just removed it. Whoops, where did everything go? Okay. I should definitely make this text bigger, right? D&D gods. Do you think that the text is too small? Like, should it be like that size for the stream? Because if you're looking at it on something small, it'd be hard to read. That's a good size. Yeah, I just thought of that now. So I made this thing that has an ID and a score. Am I doing this all for nothing? Am I? No, I'm not. I'm not. But I am. Because I'm going to fix something later that's going to let me do that would have let me do this a different way. But I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to do it that way. And what I'm talking about, so you can understand my weird non-English, is right now when the cars crash into one of these walls, they get deleted. But instead of deleting them, I might just make them invisible, so that way the score and the ID of the car actually still exists. Because the whole reason I had to get the score outside of the car was because this cars were actually getting deleted, and they would lose their score if I didn't save the score before the item gets deleted. But if I just make it never get deleted, then I don't have to do that at all, and I can just sort all the cars instead of sorting the scores that I took from the cars. And that would be easier, but it might also lead to problems later on. No, that would be easier, he says with hesitation. So why not do that? Because I was debating it. So you see over here, if I only leave up the errors, whenever a car gets deleted, oh, I still have the errors. And it was this, car score lists, that. Okay, so if I get rid of that, it should be happy now. Sounds easy to do that? It might be. I didn't try it yet. I think it would be. So if you look over here, anytime a car gets deleted, like, oh, it's not happening. Okay, yeah. It's missing reference. So the reason the reference is missing is because the car got deleted. So what that error means is that it's trying to get information from something that doesn't exist anymore. But I handled that a different way. So where is it deleting these cars? On the car script, I think. On collision, enter this.game object. I've done this before a while back in my Rocket League thing. Instead of deleting the boost in the Rocket League clone that I made, I just made the boost go invisible so it wouldn't actually lose the timer. Because in Rocket League, the boost comes back every 10 seconds. And I had the timer on the boost object itself. I realize now that I probably could have done it a different way. No, actually I did it the easiest way. And the easiest way was just to not make that boost object get deleted when the car ate it. So it just turned invisible, and then after 10 seconds, it just went back to visible. So let's do that for this. So all these cars are just gonna disappear, basically, and you'll think they got deleted when you're watching the thing, but really they're gonna be there in spirit. So to do that, I need some Google. I just have to remember how to deactivate. How to deactivate an object in Unity. That active equals false. Is that all I have to do? Wait. So what was it? Dot this. Oh, I have to find something. Let me see something. Set active. That was it. So instead of destroying, so you see the destroy this.game object, we want to say, I need a better way to show my Chrome window. Just make this a little smaller. We want to say this. Where do they use it? I just want to, okay, so set active. So we're gonna say this dot game object dot set active. Then we say false because we want to make it not active anymore. I don't know if that's going to work. That was too quick for it to work. I mean, it's not actually angry. Let's clear these errors because they're not there anymore. Game object dot set active true. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't figure that out. I read it and went back and forth. I should have known that. So we're not getting any errors anymore, I don't think. And it's working. They're still getting deleted. Deleted. And you can see over here they're not actually going away. So that's actually exactly what we wanted. So if I pause it, you can see if I click on one of these, you can just see where they died. And that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. So now instead of every round, I was going to respawn like a new set of cars every time. But instead of respawning all the cars, I'm just going to move their shells back to the starting position and their rotation. So if they flipped over, I want to re-rotate them. So I'm basically going to reset their position and rotation to this starting point and reactivate them all every round. And now what I could do, the main event, I deleted it before, is sort these cars. This is all this is all this work just to sort cars. Okay. Sort of scores. Yeah, so so what I did was make a list of cars. So I have to do some setup. So I have to make a car array. Oh, you have to get it, right? Yeah, this is what I did. So inside of our little get best scores function, we get all the cars. I'm gonna call them cars because it makes more sense. That's the list of cars, or the array of cars. And then I have to get the component that has the score, which is kind of what we do up here. I'm doing it more than once, which isn't the best. I would like to clean this up later once I actually have it working. Yeah, so this kind of get component thing. And that's actually exactly what we want. We want the car component. And I think that we could sort the cars by this. I'm just going to put this here as a placeholder. So we want to say cars equals cars dot order by. Okay, we're on to something. And we want to order them by the scores. I'm not sure how this works. I think I give it the car object, and then I say car dot this. Well, I think I already have it copied. Yeah. Dot score. So each car has a score built in. You can see it right up here. So that's what I'm trying to access right now. I don't want to get rid of this one. Actually, I can. Actually, I don't even have to, because right now we're printing out. And then after this ID, I just want to print out. Okay, so this is returning a new list of cars. So every time we want to get their scores, we have to do this, which I don't love. There might be an even better way to do this. But for now, we're going to do this here. Instead of the index, we're going to say, by index, I meant to say ID earlier when I made this. So we're going to cars, because we have the list of cars, and we want to get the car of I, because we're going to loop through all of these cars. And we're going to get their ID for this section, and then their score would be the other one. So this would be easier to copy and paste now. Whoops. Put this right here. Now this one's going to be the scores, or score. Okay. Okay, so instead of scores.length, this might get us in trouble. I'm going to say cars.length. All right, and now if Unity blesses me, error. Okay, I like those kind of errors when you forget a semicolon. Those don't hurt as bad as ones you don't understand. What line did it say that was on? 114. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay, it says cannot convert. I've had this error before. And I just have to say right here, .to array. I have to put the parentheses around it. Okay. It's a good sign. Almost there. All right, well, it didn't yell at me. And let's restart everything. And let's look at our printouts. It's going to be cluttered with a ton of stuff. All right, so one car got a score, so let's just let them get some scores before we actually pause it and look at the results. I have high hopes for this one. I'm going to let some of them go through the checkpoints. There we go. We got a couple that are actually making it over here. One of them made it all the way through. Wow. Eager. All right, let's take a look. All right, we have a 1, a 3, and a 3 with their respective IDs. So if I go look at car 89 right now on this list over here, it better have a score of 3. So from here, we'll count back 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this was car 89. I think, if I was off by 1. ID 90. Yep, I was off by 1. 89. He has a score of 3. I'm disconnected. Oh, okay. We're back. It only said that for a second. We're still good, right? Double check. Yeah, we're good. Oh, one thing that I tried to do was up my bitrate, so I just want to see something. If I maximize this, does it lag? Because the other day it was lagging. That looks pretty smooth. I mean, I can't move things around, actually. That's not smooth at all. That's horrible. Why does my computer do that? Alright, let's figure this out. What is going on to my computer? My GPU is maxed out. That's what's going on. It's Unity. So it's Unity, not my stream that's bugging out. Okay. Yeah, so that's... How do I limit Unity's resources? Was my audio laggy too? Because I was trying to say that when I run the simulation, my GPU goes up to 100%. Even though it's not really like... I think my frame rate is unlimited because that's how just games in Unity are. So I wonder if there's a way to limit that. Unity using 100% GPU. Try turning the graphics down on Unity itself. I've never done that before, but I'll take a look. I'll try to figure that out. So people are saying even on 2D games. Yeah. So I bet it's a frame rate that's uncapped. Something about VSync people are saying. Reddit's usually a treasure trove of information. Without VSync. Yeah, so it's something to do with the frames. And for VSync, so I guess I gotta go to... Where were those settings? I just want to figure this out early on in like one of the first few streams of the series before, so I can actually show you guys what it looks like when I run it in full screen. Somebody said something. Okay. The inspector. In the inspector you do that? No? It's probably the best spot would be the... Is it this graphics tier? Let's check out the project settings first. Graphics. Oh yeah, so we could change the tier to low. Okay, VSync tank. So somebody said don't sync might help. Also here the quality I could probably lower. Let's see how this looks. Let's give it a second. Well, let's restart it. Give it a lot of objects. Let's see my GPU usage. I'm monitoring it. It's at like 70%, 80%, 100% still. Yes, you're gonna get laggy in a second, I bet. Didn't happen yet though. Maybe that fixed it. It is still reaching 100%. Press the quality tab. It looks like that might have fixed it. I mean, just turning off the VSync. It's still using 100%, which I... Oh no, now it's at 80, 70. I think that worked, right? Let's try one more time for good luck. I think that the frames are still uncapped, but for some reason that VSync thing... Oh no, there we go. I see it clear. Yeah, so that happened again. So the first time was a fluke. Yeah, the quality tab. No lag, it's like... it looked okay, it was just faking us out. No, okay. So these are for like when you finish the game. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Was it because I was in play mode? It didn't save? It's definitely what happened, isn't it? There's no apply button, right? I think that's what happened. Maybe? No. Okay. But it did look like it went away. I'm gonna give up on this in 1 second and figure this out off stream for next time. For now, I'm fine with leaving it not maximized. What about preferences? No. What if I turn that on more? No. Oh, I just click on it to change to it? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I didn't realize I could just select my quality here. You're right, you're right. Is that what you meant by... Well, I was trying to change the quality the whole time. I didn't realize that you did it by clicking right here. Let's try it on medium. I think it will still go to 100%. Yeah, it's still lagging. Let's try very low. Still lagging. After a little bit, it calms down once we lose a couple of the cars. Yeah, so now it's doing a little better. It's a little blurry and laggy for you. Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. Maybe very low helped, so let's try that again. Let's try it again, but starting with very low. So just put on very low. I'm just gonna move this over. And we're gonna run it. Last try. It looks horrible. And it's still laggy. Okay, so that doesn't help. No, it didn't. It didn't help. Okay. Let's pause that. So the reason that no matter what frame rate, I mean, no matter what quality it's at, is because it's just the frame rate is set to unlimited. So I have to figure out how to change the frame rate to not do that. Let's just try one more time. One more time. I heard using a lot of get component in the update causes lag, especially with all them doing it. Yeah, I said that before, that I really didn't like that solution that I was doing. Using get component. But it's clear on my end. Like it's smooth as heck. It's just using too much of my GPU. So but maybe it is because it's doing that. But actually it's been doing this since the other day when I first started like setting up this simulation, and I only had one car. So it's definitely not that. However, I do agree with you that that's not a good idea. I'll try to fix that at some point. I just wanted to see if I could get it to work at all. Maybe instead of getting all the components. Yeah, no. I just gotta figure out a different way to do it. I'm not even reading these. I should be reading. I just need to figure out how to limit FPS. An empty scene, yeah, so like no matter what. Limit frame rate by script. That sounds like a good solution, but it's a video. Have a prefab with all variables set or something. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I've been putting all my variables on scripts. Can you just put variables on objects themselves? And then access them without using the get component thing? Is that something you could do? I'm pretty new to Unity in general, but not programming, which is why I'm getting hung up on the Unity side of things. But the once we get to the neural network stuff, I'll be able to go a little faster.
Today I just wanted to share a quick tip that helped me a lot, which is limiting the frame rate via script. It might sound counterintuitive because we usually want a high frame rate so the player doesn't know all he's really seeing is a bunch of still images in quick succession.
Okay.
So by default, Unity apps go for the maximum frame rate.
Alright, so he's just showing.
I used this app here for managing my time. I noticed that my GPU went bananas, even though this is a super simple app. All it is really just a picture where I want to go and then like one update loop that comes.
Oh, you guys can't even really hear this.
The same happened when using the editor
for
simple games.
It might be too loud even.
My power usage goes up and I can hear some very annoying coil whine from the GPU, while there's absolutely no difference for me as a user. So do yourself, your players and your electricity bill a favor and limit the frame rate. This is one of the scripts of the app, and all I have to do now is write the line application.targetFramerate and set this to an int. For an app that's just an interface, I found 30
You can hear it?
to be enough, which means you can still click a button 30 times a second. For games, something around 60 to 80 should get the job done.
Okay, so what did he do? He just said application.targetFramerate. So I don't have a game manager. Maybe I should make one. Where do you put the game manager script? Do you put it on something? For now, I'm just going to see if I could put it in. The scorekeeper is basically my game manager because I'm using it to manage everything. So I guess that's what I should have called this. Did he put it somewhere special? He just put it in private void awake. Is that like a start kind of thing? Maybe. Let's try it. I can't. My fingers are in the wrong spot on my keyboard. On start, maybe. Should I do it in here? He had a start too, but he didn't put it there. So I'm wondering. Let me just make sure I'm putting it in the right spot. Yeah, that's where he put it. I don't know. I've never used awake. It's just target frame rate equals something else. I actually tried to figure this out in another app, but I gave up quickly. Let's just set it to 30. 30 is a little low. And let's check out my GPU usage. I don't want to put it over the game. I wonder how you get an FPS counter. Oh yeah, that fixed it for sure. Oh wait, did it not? Oh yeah, they definitely fixed it. I'm at like 30% now. Awesome. Okay. So I should be able to put my graphics back up a little bit. So that's a good win. Now I can put my graphic settings back to what they were. I'm gonna do that in a second. All right, there we go. We are good now. Which is awesome. So let's see if it works now. Back on the high settings. How did I get there? Project settings, quality, ultra. Now we're pushing our luck. Oh wait, I have to do this when it's not playing. Ultra. Okay. Rather similar performance. I covered up the... Yeah, cool. I mean, I don't mind looking at it at 30 frames per second. I think my stream's only 30 frames. It might be 60. Let's see, I think I can see it on the YouTube settings. Just says 1080. Okay, cool. That'll be useful in the future too, just to know that that's a thing. Because it does often just freak out. You know where that would be useful? In my natural selection simulator. I wonder if they could, like, learn faster, or if I could add more creatures if my GPU isn't freaking out over the frame rate. That's an interesting thought. Well, I'm not going to do that now, but that's just an idea that I have for fixing up an older project. Which is similar to this one. Alright, so now we can focus back on the actual cars themselves. Because we're able to get their scores and their IDs. It's not efficient, but it works. And we only have 100 cars, so it won't be that difficult. But we might be able to increase the number of cars now that we know that trick. Were they jumping? Were they doing like the jumping bean thing? I think they were. There's like a regular jump, but then there's sometimes they fall into the floor a little bit and they get shot out. It's like every 5 seconds or so. Whenever that get scores function runs. So if you see them spring up like really high, that's bad. I'm just observing. So far nothing happened yet. I think we're safe to say that it won't happen. I haven't seen it. Any of them actually spring. Like they shoot up really high is what they were doing earlier. Okay, cool. So now that we did that, I don't always want to maximize it on the play though. We could look at the scores list again, make sure we got some. Yep, 35, 3, 1, and they're sorted in order. So we can say that these 3 were the best. And we're gonna use that to randomly we're going to use this ranked score to say which neural networks should be replicated and which ones shouldn't. So if you have the best brain and you did the best, you're going to have more copies of you the next round. That's basically what I need to do. And that's why I was trying to sort these the whole time. The simple sorting got in my way of making a neural network. That's funny. That always happens though. I've run into so many little problems already. So now, what we can do with those scores is go to our to-do list and figure out what else we have to do. Did we do anything that I wanted to do? Maybe instead of deleting the cars, I could just disable them. That's what we did. That was an idea I had yesterday. And that actually helped fix some of the scores. So tally up the scores after a set period of time. I could say that that's what I did. Sort the scores, yes. Okay. 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 This is what I'm talking about. Decide what warrants reproducing. The best cars that got the furthest in the set amount of time, and some randomness to allow for the underdogs. Because you don't want to always take the best car, because sometimes a worse strategy in the beginning is actually the better strategy once they figure it out. So you don't want to have local minimums that you get stuck on. Okay, so once we have this figured out, okay. So because we're not deleting the cars anymore because of this, what we just did, I have to reset all the cars. Scores. So it's gonna be the scores, the position, and rotation. And they also have to get reactivated. So that's what we need to do right now. is the next round, because we're not deleting the cars and starting from a clean slate, we just have to clean out all of our existing cars, which is better for like optimization because you're not creating and deleting objects over and over again. I believe that's called like object pooling, but we're kind of not, we don't have an actual object pooling system. We're just not deleting anything. I'm glad that that worked. And you, yeah. Definitely worked, right? Why is it so short? Oh, I don't like that. I do not like that at all. Why is this only 25 long? It's getting rid of the cars that got deactivated? If that's true, I have a solution for that. Let's test that theory. I just want to see if that's what's happening. So I'm gonna let this run for a second. We're gonna get a best car, and then I'm gonna delete that best car and see if it goes away. Okay, so we just got a best car. Went through all three. I'm gonna let a lot of them go still because I want to make sure that that is the best car. I'm just gonna wait for these guys to all basically figure something out. While we're doing that, do I want this? No, I don't think I do. Okay, I think that was a decent amount of time. There are some that are going to go through all three checkpoints. So we have two that are 3, none that only have 1. And the reason for that is probably because if they get 1 checkpoint and they don't get 2, they probably died at one of these walls. So the odds of only getting 1 checkpoint. So that one just got 1. And then it died. So we should see a 1 here. Well, in the next one. But we only see 3. And to verify that, we're going to find one of these, 62. It's going to be hard to find. But I think it has to be active. This would be a good guess. 75. 62. That was quick. Okay, yeah, so this one's active. That's how I knew it was going to be this one because, right, that's reassuring my guess that only active ones are working. So if I deactivate it, click, and I should see that second 3 go away. Yeah. Why? So you can't access components of a deactivated object? It's a little lame. Well, what I could do, I was gonna think of some other way to figure it out, but if I'm gonna reset all their positions and reactivate them all anyways, that's when I should get the score. Reactivate everybody. Put them back at the start position. Tally up all their scores. And then wipe their scores. That's one solution. Or I could look up how to get access to... yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. How to access deactivated component. Or deactivated object in Unity. So you need to know the parent game object, but we're deactivating the parent game object. Okay, well, this person was angry in 2010, though. You can still get it while it's disabled, but it's not working. Do I have to do it a different way than what I'm doing? Do I have to use like something like this find that they keep talking about? And they're saying it's slow, so I shouldn't even use it. I have to access the script variable. You haven't seen my script? Yeah, sorry. Basically it's just these things where like get component. I'm trying, oh, okay, so I'm trying to find objects with the tag. So maybe you can't find them by tag if they're deactivated. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. That could be it. Yeah, that's definitely it. So I am storing them in an array, which is good. But I'm changing that array. So find, get component, and children. So I guess you could do find. Okay, so maybe in start, I can make an array of all of the objects instead of doing it. Am I doing it on update? That'd be really dumb. Where's the scores kept? Well, it's kept kind of on the cars, in the car script. It's just up here. It's actually highlighted. So there's a bunch of these cars. Every car has the script on it, basically. So every car has that script on it. So every car has a score. Apparently I'm losing access to it, but I think it's the way that I'm getting... I didn't realize this before, but in Scorekeeper, I'm creating all these cars. That's where I create all the cars in the first place. I'm creating 100 of them. I should just store them in an array. And yeah, that's what I have to do. Grab the score like this. Game object. I might have done a typo, no problem. That looks useful. Why can't I copy and paste? So instead of getting... Okay. Just trying to think of how this will work in. Oh, that's kind of what I'm doing. Okay. So let me just look at your script, what you just pasted right here. So it's a little similar. I see your typo. So I don't know why I'm doing get component in parent. I think I copied and pasted that a while back. But that is basically what I'm doing. I'm just storing it here and then doing score. And I'm saying in parent for some reason. But my problem, I think, is here, up here, because I'm making a list of all these objects and looping over them for some reason. Why am I doing that? Oh, I'm doing it down here too. I'm saying cars. And then I'm ordering. Okay, so I need to make it an array. That's what I'm doing. So the tags thing makes it an array. Okay. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't explain one key factor. So this scorekeeper script is not on the cars. So that's why I have to get them somehow. Because this scorekeeper doesn't have access to any of the scripts that are on the car. Give me a few minutes, I'll open up Unity and check something fast. Okay, awesome. But yeah, I think yours, what you sent would work if I had access to that component already. Where'd I put it? I put it up here. So the reason I can't say get component, I have to like... I have to get the car script from the car object. My naming is horrible too. I made a car script. This should be car controller or something like that. I'm gonna keep yours there for safekeeping. And I think I just was about to see something. Somebody said something about... Oh yeah. So if you do it in start, and I keep it, if I keep a reference to all of the game objects that were created in the beginning, then when they're deactivated, I could still use that same array. So I think that's a good idea. So I'm gonna make a game object list or an array, I believe. Car. Car reference. Will that work, or will that yell at me? Probably can't do it with the word game object. Or did I do that wrong? I did. Okay. So what did I just solve by doing that? Okay, so now I have a car reference. Every time I create a car at the start, I should just add it to this. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's actually perfect. So after I create the car, just say car reference element I equals child. I don't know why I called it child. Maybe because it was just born. Sure. All right, so car reference is going to be full of all the cars. So now, instead of looping over the cars by tag, I can loop over the car. I could loop over this list. Well, honestly, this should have happened with this list already. Where did I make the cars list? Okay, so that cars list was made there. You know what? Just to keep things, I'm gonna say that this game object of cars. I'm gonna comment this out just in case I need it back. Equals our car reference list. So it starts off with a clean slate every time. So this car reference list will never get sorted. That's why I want to have it be put into cars every time. So it's like a fresh start. What this will do though is if the list is sorted and then it doesn't change, it will have to get resorted anyways because we're starting from scratch every time. But I'm assuming that the list is going to change every time, so it won't be that bad. Does this work just as is? If this works, I'd be surprised because I didn't really think it through too much. No errors. If we get any sort of sorting, and 99, okay, that's new. That was a new error. Yeah, so it's not even working at all anymore. It's because it's private. I don't think so. Let me make it public just so I can see it. Scorekeeper 123. It's probably right where we just changed things. 123. Oh, no. Oh, cool. Okay. Wait, no. So car reference is full of cars, and they are all in order. Okay, so that is what I want, and it has all the cars information. Hi, Nacho Martinez. Welcome to the stream. Right now we're having a little bit of a struggle. Actually, this whole stream's been a little bit of a struggle fest. But aren't they always like this? I'm trying to figure out how to access a number from a deactivated car. So when I run this, these cars get deleted if they hit a wall. And right now they're all moving randomly. I'm making 100 cars, they're moving randomly. If they crash into a wall, they get deactivated. So that's why you'll see some of these turn gray. Some of these words like this, they'd start to turn gray. But when they get deactivated, I can't access some of the variables that I need. Because I want to get the score of every car. I want to know how many checkpoints they went through. So you're all caught up. I can't do it when they're deactivated. I'm trying to figure out a way to figure that out, basically. I just made a reference list of all of them, so that way when all the cars get created, I kept a copy of them. So even when they're deactivated, I know where they are. And for some reason, it still isn't working. Let me try that. And I want to see the it's being logged. So what error does it say? It says object reference not set to an instance of an object. Game object car. Not set to an instance of an object. Why? Takes a second for that error to pop up. Okay, so it still is happening. How about instead of sorting this cars list, we just straight up sort the car reference list. I didn't want to do that because I wanted to keep it in order, but if that works, I'll do it. So instead of sorting cars, I'm going to sort car reference. We could store that in cars still. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're just going to change car reference. Okay, more errors than before. Cars does not exist. Probably used it somewhere else. Oh yeah, I printed it out. Let's print out car reference, and we have to make this car reference too. I think that's everywhere. Just double check. I don't see any cars anywhere. Cool. Save. Still. What if I turn off these walls? So the cars won't die right now. Is it because the cars are dying and getting deactivated? That's what I'm checking right now. So if that doesn't happen, okay, yeah. So it worked. It's still happening. So whenever it prints out scores done like this, all of these scores, that means it sorted it, which is what we want. But for some reason, when the cars are getting deactivated, I can't do what I want. And I just realized that's why. I thought there was something I was doing wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. It just still doesn't work with the deactivated cars. Ugh. So I can't get, so that's the problem. I can't get component of a deactivated object. This is making me want to go back to my other solution, which is activate everything and then do this. And then I could just deactivate it afterwards, the ones that were deactivated. If that's... No, that's not a good idea. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out how to get component of deactivated object. So get component does get components from inactive objects. However, find with tag does not find inactive game objects. So that's my first problem. That's why I was doing it first, but then I fixed it by saving a reference of everything. Okay, so it seems like I needed that reference list anyways, because Unity order by deactivated object. One word. Right. So I can't sort them after they're deactivated. I just realized something. Why does my GPU maxing out make my stream lag? I guess streaming does use GPUs a lot. It's just a complete side note. I'd rather use my CPU because right now my GPU is the bottleneck of my PC. I upgraded everything but my GPU because GPUs are expensive right now. Oh, I am using the hardware encoder for my output. If I switch to software encoder, it will use my CPU, which is much faster than my GPU. Interesting. I'll try that. Maybe I'll try that next stream. How do arrow functions work in Unity arrow functions? Lambda expression, I guess. You can access variables from disabled Keem object. Not multi-line script, multi-line lambda Unity. So I kind of figured something out, but I think my order by isn't working. You've got a game object with a test script on with a score and a button that gives a random score. It's disabled and working. So you're disabling the entire object too? Because my next idea was just to disable certain attributes. But yeah, that's probably what you're doing. Okay. So for some reason, so my order by isn't working when they're deactivated. So yeah, while you were gone, if you were gone, I tested out where I got rid of the walls, so none of the cars were getting deactivated because that's the only way that they get deactivated right now is by crashing into a wall, and it works. So the order by works without Oh, you have the same game objects as I do. Yeah. So this works right now until one of the cars gets deactivated. Then it complains about this line specifically, saying that this car object isn't an object. I could do that by putting the walls back on. Let's activate the wall. Activate the wall. Yes, right there. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Why? All right, let's just leave these walls deactivated for now. And let's work on just some other project. I just want to check something off the to-do list. Oh, okay. So what I want to do is reset the cars, basically. And I could do that without sorting everything. So if we want to move on to that, we can, just for a split second. It shouldn't be too long to do that. So when this, so this is our timer right here. We get the best scores. So what I'm thinking is before we get the best scores, we say reset cars. If you go to Edit, Preference, External Tools, set External Script Editor to Visual Studio, and it will tell you exactly what the error is. No way. I've never known that. Are you serious? That's pretty cool. I want to trust this. Let's manage. Trust. Okay, it's trusted now. That could have been so useful. I actually just built this PC a few months ago, and on my old PC, I could only get Unity to work with Visual Studio Basic, not Visual Studio Code. But I like Visual Studio Code better. So it's been working with the new Unity. Might have been like an update or something. Okay, so let's do that. We'll go to Edit, Preferences, External Tools. Do I have that? Oh yeah, Blind. Wow, that's nice. Is that all I have to do? I think I might have been doing that by default, but do I have to enable any of these? I don't think so. I think that's gonna go away when I disable that, which is annoying. Did it say that changes won't be saved? Let me double check. Sometimes, like, okay, this type of stuff saves. Yep, now double click. The error? That's pretty cool. Wait, this line's the error? No, don't say this. Don't say this line's the error. Wait a minute, it was saying the other line was the error earlier. Or am I just blind and I mixed up 132 with 123? That's not what I did. So what's wrong with this line? This line's just printing things. Yeah, I made a new function. Didn't finish it. So let's open a new instance of, and it has all of the okay, this is nice. Later. Okay. Thanks for that tip. That was very helpful, Nick. I could have used that before. Okay, so let's just get rid of this for now. I'll add that in a second. Back on the other problem. I swear it was giving me an error for that before. So what is I? Car reference dot length. Okay. Let me just run this one more time, just so I make sure that that's what's going wrong. I'm gonna put the walls back on. We want to see the error. Okay. I think it takes like 5 seconds for that function. It's working? What did I do? Oh, I changed it to get component instead of get component and parent. I don't know why I had get component and parent. It was working earlier, but now it's just a list of components or a list of objects, and there is no parent. I don't know I don't know how that works. The get component and parent. I should have been doing get component. Thanks, Nick. Oh gosh. Unity's weird sometimes, but so that was my fault. They look funny, these dancing cars. They're like the ones that in real life, they're like the ones that bounce in real life. Okay. We're getting a list that's sorted. These are the best cars. And I bet some of them are deactivated. If we go to 99, is that still alive? No, it is dead, but we know its score was 3. Where's it score? Oh, it's still 0. Oh wait, not 99. Was I wrong? Oh, I was looking there. I'm dumb. 12. Okay, let's go to car 12, see if it's still alive. This is going to be 6, so 12. It's dead. And we still see its score. We should still see its score at the bottom. 12, 3. Okay, we can move on to bigger and better things. Man, that took way too long. Okay, now I can safely move on to resetting the cars. And we can even do it after we get the scores. I was going to do it before, but now I'll do it after. I don't know what the best practice is. It seems like all the functions in Unity start with a capital letter. Variables start with lowercase. Like I did get best scores here. I usually start with lowercase. But it seems like in Unity the default is everything's capitalized if it's a function. I'll try it with this one, see if I like it. So we're just going to call reset cars, and now we're just going to have to make that. I'm just going to make it a function because I want to keep things a little separate. That's what you do? Wait, function start lowercase, that's what you do. Functions capitals. So this is right. Reset cars, you're saying functions are capital? Or is that not what you do? So since we have that list of reference cars, yes, mine is good, okay. I'll fix the other one too. I think that, because I just noticed that in Unity it seemed like that's how things were going. C#. Okay. So we have that list of cars, so we can actually access all of them, even when they're deactivated still. Which we should have been doing anyways, it was just my fault. Oh, you know why? Okay, so it wasn't this line that was giving me the error. You know how changing get component and parent fixed it? I actually changed that up here right before you came back. So that's why I was so confused why this line was the one that was... So I fixed it. I fixed it by switching it to just get component. So both lines had the same error before. I thought I was going crazy. But I realized why it switched to this line, because originally they both had get component and parent. That makes sense. That's cool how it says references now. That's probably because using like tools built in. Just like to get rid of this. Okay. It's 11:30. Okay, so we're going to try to reset these cars, and then probably that will be the last task of the night. Then we'll work on something else tomorrow. Maybe at the end of the stream we'll work on our to-do list. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I just want this car reference list. I don't know why I copied with pressing copy. My brain's fried right now. After dealing with those. First the sorting, now this. I could just loop over all of them, I guess. I'm used to doing regular for loops, but I think that I could do like a for each loop. Yeah, I could do this. For game object car in car reference. Is that wrong? For each. I knew what I was doing, I just didn't type it. Okay, so now for every single car we want to reset it. Car dot position, I guess. Transform dot position equals new vector 3. Can I do it like this? Let's try to reset them all to just 0, 0, 0 and see what happens. Is that just gonna work? I want to zoom out over here. I want a way to move around in the scene view because right now my camera's stationary. I wonder if I could get like a camera controller. So that's 0, 0, 0. We should see all the cars reset to there in 5 seconds. All right. Now we're on to the easy problems, I guess. Cool. That's exactly what I wanted. So we're going to have to reset the position, reactivate them, and reset the rotation just in case they flipped over. Because some of them are flipping over right here. You can see. They usually are like those weeble wobble things, like they don't fall over, but sometimes they get stuck. So that's cool. And we also don't want this. Maybe this will be where the start is, and I can move everything else. But right here is where I had them before. What position is that? Where am I spawning? Okay, I could just get the position where I spawn everything. That makes sense. So in Scorekeeper, I spawn everything right here. So put everything back where they spawned. You don't need to reset the positions if you just move the walls over and start them on 0, 0, 0, 2. Yeah, I was just saying that. Like that's kind of what I said. I might have mumbled it because I was thinking it to myself. For now, I'll just move the cars over. But then that will mean I might have to move everything later. Well, later on, if I want to reset everything to 0, I can. And I know I can remove everything later if I just highlight everything in the scene and slide it with the ground unselected. So I could do that later. Now this should work the same way. Because I had like the position I was spawning them in. So now they all start there, and then they all restart there. But why'd they pop a little? I don't like when they do that. They're going into the ground when they reset, which is causing them to spring back up. Which is not good. Why? So only some of them are going to the ground because they're probably waiting for the other ones to get spawned. So, like while this for each loop is happening, they're falling into the ground. Or they're just spawning too low to the ground, but that would also happen the first time. Does it happen the very first time they spawn? Kind of. It's like one of them. Like, why is this negative 0.05? Why don't I just make that 0? 0 doesn't have to be negative. Now they'll start hovering a little bit and they'll like drop into place. Okay. Now they're just jumping normally. Okay, that fixed it. I started them a little higher so they didn't spawn in the ground. Oh, that one did something. That's because that one's position we didn't reset yet. Alright, let's get to the rest of our resetting. How do you access the rotation of a car? Wait, so... What's quaternion identity? That might do the rotation and the position. That might do the rotation. That's gonna give me an error. I know that. Yeah. So I do dot rotation is that? I just don't know what, I just have to look this up. Get the rotation of an object in Unity. Local rotation? Transform dot rotation. I don't want Euler angles, I'm fine with the quaternion thing. The rotation same as position, okay. Just wasn't autofilling. I think quaternion identity is like a rotation of some sort. Yes, the error went away. Okay. I think that's working. Oh wait, yeah, it is working. So they're all respawning. This is pretty cool. We're getting there. We are getting there. We're almost to the point where the only thing left to do is the neural network, which is the cool part. And the part that I'm kind of gonna take my time with because I want to make it a little better than the neural network I made last time, so I could teach it to everybody in like a video. I want to make the neural network entirely from scratch this time. I used like one math library last time. That was a little hard to get it to work with Unity, so I didn't feel comfortable teaching that to people like in a tutorial on how to make a neural network from scratch. But this time, I'm going to remove the need for that library by just doing it by hand. So that way I could say that if you watch this video, you could literally make a neural network from scratch with no external libraries, just C# programming. And really, you could do it in any programming language because it's so simple. Like, it's down to the bare bones level is what I'm planning on doing. But this is really cool. So now all the cars are slowly getting deactivated, except for the ones that haven't hit a wall when they spawn. And what we have to do now is just reactivate everybody. So this is, and then make the rounds longer. How did I do that before? Is active? Oh, it's on the cars. Set active. Okay, and that should be it for resetting the cars. I think, oh, there's scores I wanted to reset too. So right now the scores are staying the same. But I want to reset the scores after we make sure we reproduce or keep track of the best cars last time. Okay, so yeah, this is working perfectly. Nice. So I think I could safely reset the scores too because we're getting the best scores here. And if I'm not saving them in here, I could fix that later when I need to access the scores. Oh, but for this, do I have to do the get component thing again? Yeah. Can I set a... I think I can. Yeah. I could set a component this way. Alright. So now all the cars' scores are going to be reset as well. After we tally them up. So we're going to see it get tallied up, and then they're going to be 0 again. That's if we see any of them pass a checkpoint. Okay, so that one went through. So we should see that. So we got 2, and the next time it shouldn't. You could do car instead of game object on the function. I'm super confusing with my naming. Like I want the car itself, but there's also a car script on the cars. So that's what I'm getting here. Yeah, actually no. I need the car itself to get its rotation and position in this case. But I do agree that in other times I could have gotten like a list of these car components, but I'm not sure if it would link to the correct car all the time. Instead of having to get the component every time. Like I'm not sure if I just got a list of these car script components instead of up here getting a list of the car reference, like. But I already have it set up this way. But I think you're on something there. I was thinking that earlier, where instead of getting this get component every time, if I could have just got the car components for every cars once, instead of doing it every single time I need something. I feel like there has to be a better way. But that is another to-do off our to-do list. Reset all the cars, scores, position, and rotation. That one was an easy one. I like those. Okay. So now we're on to deciding which cars reproduce. I want to get the reproduction down before I start dealing with neural network, because then things just get complicated. So I want to get the round system down with the reproduction of which cars did the best. So okay. I don't think I'm going to do this today. But what I want to do is kind of have some sort of front-loaded randomness, if that makes sense. Like, I want there to be... So we sorted all the scores, basically. The best cars are in the front of the list. I want these guys to have the highest chance of reproducing. Like, a higher chance. Like, maybe this guy has a 50% chance of reproducing because he was the best. He's definitely going to reproduce. Maybe the first, like, couple will be guaranteed reproduction, and then the rest are randomness with, like, a skewed function. Oh, it could actually be a function based on where they are in this list. That's a good idea. So I could use this number, this like 99, and put it in some sort of function. And then use a random range between 0 and not this number. It would be the opposite. I would want this to be 0. So I'd want the list to be sorted in the other way, if that makes sense. I think I could do ordered by ascending or descending, whichever one is the opposite of this. So that way, like there's 100% chance of getting 0, if that makes sense. But then the last car will only have a 1 in 100 chance of reproducing. But in total, it would all have to add up to 100. If that makes sense. Oh, I know what I could do. I could have like buckets that we pick from. And the car that's in first place has the biggest bucket. Or if you think of it like a raffle, the car in first place will have the most entries to the raffle. So when we pick a ticket out of the hat, there's a high chance that the car in first place will reproduce, and maybe reproduce more than once. We want the car in first place to reproduce a couple times because it was obviously the best, had the best brain, so we want to keep those genes in the future. But we don't want to cut out the guys in the middle because they might be better. They just are slow learners. So in order to do that, we need to kind of group them randomly. So here's what I'm thinking. I wish I had something to draw on. Did last time. I had like a whiteboard thing. Google Chalkboard. I was able to use it on my iPad. What's this Jamboard? That's cool. Oh, you have to... Oh, it's a real thing. Okay. Nope. Alright, that's not going to give me what I want. What was it? Microsoft that made it? Anyways, getting sidetracked again. I basically just want to have like a raffle system. That's it. Where if we pick a number from 1 to 1,000, numbers 0 to 100 will be for the first car. So like if we that gives it basically a 10% chance of reproducing. And we're going to pick out 100 random numbers, and if you win, you reproduce. So that way we always get 100. I have the idea in my head. I'll write this down. Okay, so allow some randomness for the underdog. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now, the randomness part of this. So that is kind of like the raffle system option. I'll keep thinking about this till tomorrow, because I don't think that's the best way to do it. I'm just thinking of things on the fly. But this was a good stream. Even though we struggled, struggle was necessary. I had to figure these things out. And I thank you a lot, Nick. You helped me out with a bunch. Maggie was here earlier. Thanks for watching earlier, if you're still here, lurking. So next time we just gotta figure out that raffle system. What is that program you use for your notes? It's Notion, and it is pretty awesome. A lot of people use it. You've probably heard of it before if you take notes, but I use it for everything. Any project I start a new one for. And you could have like the Trello boards, which is nice. I don't think I made it for this one. But for my jump cutter software, like you have these Trello boards that you could drag around. Like Yeah, Trello. I was gonna say like Trello. I use it for my videos, so when I make YouTube videos, it's in this whole video project tracker. So you have tables. It's basically a programmer's notebook because you could customize a lot of things. And this template I actually got from somebody, Thomas Frank, I believe. So you could share templates with other people. And you could see these as a board too. So I have videos that are ready to filming, editing, and then published. It's very adaptable. Like I was struggling to find like a good note-taking system for a while, and I will say the one problem with this is that I clutter it up too much. Like I have too many notes. In the beginning it's really useful having it's so customizable, but then you start to customize everything, and like I haven't looked at half of these in a long time. I mainly just use the video tracker and my software project trackers mainly. I have to get into the habit of organizing the notes afterwards. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You should totally check it out. Nice, thanks. I'm going to get it. I was starting coding. I would start coding one thing and stop and do something, and it would help be useful to finish things. Yes, I've been using Trello boards for a while. If you haven't used even just like a Trello board, it really helps you keep track of what the to-dos are. Because sometimes I feel like the hardest part, not the hardest part, but sometimes during a project you get into these procrastination ruts. And I found that the main reason for those procrastination moments is not really knowing what to do next, or if you don't know how to do the next step properly. So when you have like even just this simple note system, like I don't have this whole board for what I've been working on so far, just keeping track of the to-dos and just being able to look at it, be like, oh yeah, I could work on this next. It just helps a lot. And even, especially with the videos too. Videos are hard to track. So just being able to have like a whole one spot for every video idea, it's really nice. I would definitely recommend getting it. Some people go crazy with it too. There's a ton of tutorials. There's this one guy, August Bradley. I think that's how you spell his name. Yeah, August Bradley. He's a film director. Didn't know that. But yeah, he does Notion advice. And he has 40,000 subscribers now. But the reason I know about him is because he's the guy that like best monetized his audience. He had like 10,000 subscribers and he was making over $1 million a year selling Notion courses because he's really good at Notion. This is his expertise. So he was able to sell his course to only 10,000 subscribers and make over $1 million a year. And now with 40,000 subscribers, I don't even want to know how much he's making. just by doing courses on Notion. Yeah, Pillars, Pipelines, and Vaults. That's the name of his Notion course. Probably find. I wonder how much it costs. This isn't it. Maybe it is. Yeah, Pillar Pipe. That's what he says. Launches August 25th. I doubt you'll find the price on this page. Did I pass it? Oh, it doesn't open yet. Normally they don't Yeah, so when this opens, he'll release the price, I guess. But he makes a ton of money. I might want to just look to see how much it costs. But yeah, this was a great stream. Thanks for helping out. I really appreciate it. Especially that one tip with the VS Code. That's going to be forever helpful. So thanks for that. I'll probably do this again tomorrow. I've been trying to stream daily. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Things get in the way. But I've been pretty consistent doing it a couple times a week. So I usually stream anywhere from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. If you want to stop by again. Your presence was very useful. But that's all she wrote for today, I think. And we'll figure out more tomorrow. So Thanks for stopping by. I'm actually ending the stream now. I went on a little Notion tangent, but definitely check Notion out. It's really cool. And I will see you guys tomorrow.